Good morning. Happy Sunday and happy Sunday evening to everybody. Episode 143 of The Flip Side with Jay Noel coming to you live again. Yes, here we are. What's up, man? How are you? Oh, you're still on mute. I can't I can't hear you. You're still on mute.
Sorry.
It's
Don't have
okay.
to be upset about it.
No, I'm
Just
not.
preparing my little presentation here for you.
Look at you. Look at you. How are you? Good morning or good evening.
Kokak. Kokak. I would kill for one of those cups of citron, Korean citron
Yes,
ginger
honey,
tea right
honey
now.
citron ginger tea. Yes.
So the last
How?
time that I opened my mouth was Friday night, 6:18 p.m. because my dad was asking me, "Hey, what time is it? Is it Friday today, Saturday, Sunday?" I said, "It's Friday, 6:18 p.m." And he's like, "What?" "Oh, I have a sore throat. I can't talk." And then from then on, I just
It
shut
went
my
downhill.
mouth.
Oh my God.
No, I thought I was already okay, actually. I'm surprised now that it's worse than it is. It's probably just like this now
Mm.
because it's the first words that's coming out of my mouth. But
Mm.
I think I'm fine. I think it'll be better by the end of the show.
Have you not taken anything at all for it? Not even drink tea or anything?
No tea, just a couple of biogesics and a lot of rest.
What's a
Kind of
biogesics?
like Tylenol there,
Oh, I
probably.
see, I see, I see, I see, I see, I see, I see, yeah.
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 But I'm kind of digging the voice, like
It's a little. It has that little raspy Matthew McConaughey. Hey, look, type of thing. Like.
I was kind of hoping Vin Diesel, but
Can you do me a favor and say, "Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah"?
oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Hey, listen. Before we go any further, can I just say, belated happy birthday to my beautiful, beautiful 4-year-old daughter, Arya Joe of Resio. Man, yesterday was a day of reflection for me. It was her birthday. Just let me show you.
Day of
Bottom,
reflection. Jeez.
bottom, bottom right is her baby picture. The top of that is her 1-year-old. Bottom left is her 2-year-old. Top right above that, our top left is her 3-year-old, and the one in the middle is where she's 4. And I was just thinking to myself, Jesus Christ, she is growing too fast. Too fast. Just want to
Yeah.
say happy birthday to my little baby girl. I love you with life more than life itself, and I can't wait to watch you grow.
So many changes these first few years, no?
Yeah,
So many changes.
so many. And the crazy thing is, it looks like she's discovering her imaginary self, and her imaginary expressions are coming out, and I'm loving every second of it. You're mute. You're mute. You're mute.
Sorry. There's actually these books that you can read about, like by 6 months, 7 months, eight
Right.
months, there
Right.
should be these developments and like you can track that. You can follow that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's kind of like following a train on its stops and that kind of
Mm.
thing. I'm
Do
supposed to
you,
be rolling the intro or something.
yeah. Yeah. But real quick, do you remember the your son's very first steps?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. I actually caught. I don't know if I ever told you, but I should have cued it, but it just popped in my head. I actually caught my daughter's first steps on video. You
Oh,
know, so we were just
what was
playing on
that all
her.
about?
We were playing on her playpen, and she was 9 months, 2 days old. And I was like, you know what? Let's give it a try. Whatever. I just put her up, put the camera down, and she said, "Come to daddy, come to daddy." And then she took her first step. Like, oh my god, it's
Oh,
one of
that's
those
sweet.
feelings, you know. Yeah.
I wasn't there, but the video was that he was reaching for the remote control of the TV.
Oh,
So I was
already.
like, yeah, he's got his priorities.
All right, let's get this show on the road.
I got 0 friends.
Two guys from two sides of the world. The Flip Side with Jay and Noel. You can catch us live online on YouTube and Facebook Monday, Wednesdays, and Sundays. And now, your hosts,
Jay and Noel.
Yeah, yesterday was just a reflection day for me, watching my daughter the whole day, enjoying the sights of the view of the zoo, looking at different animals and her curiosity just expressing out like crazy. And it's amazing. It's amazing.
Bruh,
Yeah.
I got my snot shirt, as my son would call it, my water and
Jesus
everything. I
Christ.
think my voice is getting better. You forgive me if I start off with a little bit of the iMac update, right?
Yeah, no, no, go ahead, man. Let's take a look.
Forgive me. Let me just get this one out of the way, and then I'll let you do it while I sort of massage my throat.
Hmm.
Um, but I'm excited to show this to you because uh, I got it. Finally picked it up at the service center, right?
You got it. You got it.
Yeah, and I was surprised that they turned it on in front of me.
Uh huh.
And so I was like, oh, okay, so it's not going to be a doorstop. It's actually going to be useful.
Right.
They said, yeah, we could turn it on. We were able to add the OS. I didn't tell you about this yet, though, right?
No, 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 no.
Yeah, so they were able to add the OS, the older OS. And then there's this whole drama about being 5 years old and they can't service it anymore for parts, etc., etc. But they were kind enough to do the OS thing. So
Mm.
they turned it on so it'll work. I
Right.
just haven't been able to take it out of the box yet. Oh, I'm really loving the voice. Um, they they were able to turn it on, but they were saying something about it could just die any second.
Uh huh.
Like there's something crappy about the hardware and maybe the wire or whatever. So it's like 50-50, but it's hanging on. I could turn it on. I just haven't taken it out of the box yet.
Can you actually use it, log in and use it and whatnot? Have you tried it? No.
I
Oh, no,
haven't,
you
but I
haven't
should.
taken it out of the box.
I have. Yeah, I haven't, but I should be able to. Judging by the OS being turned on and everything.
Yeah, 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 yeah. You
But they
should
said
definitely
that
try to
there
run
was
it.
like a very minimal like software, no, hardware issue that they
Hmm.
couldn't service anymore. Again, something about the SATA cable or the hard drive or whatever. So now it's like,
Right.
do I sell it? Do I sell my drone, to get myself like whatever I might need,
Hmm.
that kind of thing. But I'm like, man, but my dad gave this to me and that kind of thing. So I'm like, I don't know. I'm taking.
Ah,
I speak big game, but I don't know about what I'm gonna do about it. Just wanted to drop that there.
right,
Get,
right.
give you an update of what's going down for as far as the iMac and technology and everything is concerned. But first things first, getting some rest
Yeah,
and try to get my
Ye-
voice back.
yeah,
Although I
yeah,
am
definitely.
digging this. I'm digging the Vin Diesel voice,
It has that maturity level. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm getting old, man. Puberty's
Yeah.
kicking in.
A couple of more bullet points on my end, if you don't mind, and then I'll
Go
throw it
ahead.
at you just to let you know what I got on my plate. So the iMac update, that one's done. There's a 4 hour archaeology debate that I listened to over the weekend. I think it's pretty historical. If you've heard
Mhm.
about it, have you heard
N-
about? I'll tell you about
No.
it if we have time. And I also just found out like about an hour ago that OJ is dead, 76.
Yeah, I was actually going to bring that up.
There's also an
Um.
Okay, we'll look into that when we have time. There's
Yep.
also another update with a breakdancing Bitcoin dad and the daughter. There's an update with that. And have you heard about the Chinese runner that was like escorted across the finish line with this Kenyan
No, I've
and
not.
African runners? I'll tell
No.
you about that when we have time. And then Koreans are in the news again for a little bit of like this branding thing on a TV show. We might
Mm.
get the chance to talk about that. That's my list. I put those on the banners at the bottom, but
Right.
we'll
Right.
talk about your stuff first. I'll
Right. Right.
nest my
Right.
throat and shut up for a while.
Well,
Loving the
it.
voice though.
No, today I wanted to just basically talk about a couple of things. So how Dubai is basically messing with nature. Um,
Mm,
it's kind of a scary image. I don't know if you actually got a chance to take a look at it. It
yeah,
was like one of a kind that I've never seen before. And that being said, it's something that Dubai has never seen before themselves. Um, also,
yeah,
um, when we get a chance, there's just a couple of things about TikTok and how, uh, again, going back to the virtual customer service. How it's just the craze that's going on in New York City right now, and it's I don't even know if it's gonna last. Maybe let's
but
start with What's that?
Can I just say that I'm so proud that they're Pinoy, that they're testing it out with Pinoys first.
just, just to see if it's gonna work and whatnot.
Yeah, and why not, right? What do you want to do first?
Let's do actually. Let's do the virtual customer service real quick. It's just a quick thing basically for that, because well, I'm getting tired of it. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it all over the internet, and I don't want to linger around it.
Give me
So
some context here. How much is it usually? What's the lowest? What's minimum wage in New York now?
in New York, I believe it's what 16 minimum
Wow. Okay.
wage in New York. Is it 16? It doesn't say actually. Why
Give me an
doesn't it
idea. How
say?
much is a Big Mac in New York?
Oh, it's like a Big Mac meal, like the actual meal itself. We're probably looking at about $9 or $10. You know,
Okay.
minimum wage in New York right now is $15 an hour.
Wow.
And then, that being said, this business in New York City decided to um, do the whole virtual customer service. It's not like it's the only customer service that's coming from the restaurant, though. They actually have people working in the back. But at the front of the house, they hired, I guess, a virtual cash register, and it's being done through Zoom, and it's a person from the Philippines.
They couldn't even do it on StreamYard. It has to be on Zoom.
Well, it's yeah, pretty much. Let me take a look at this for you. I mean, add this for you guys so you can take a look at it.
Yeah,
Um,
it's awesome. I love that she's Filipina.
yeah, and it's
And then,
amazing how she's all her setup and her back screen is all. It's
are you
pretty-
gonna play it?
yeah, hold
Go
on.
ahead.
Chicken Shop has replaced its cashier with a woman who zooms into work every day from the Philippines. Kind of a virtual cashier, kind of not at all a virtual cashier. This is what the cashier counter setup looks like. There's a cash register and an iPad that reads "Welcome to my store." A bit to the left, there's a computer monitor where the cashier sits in a Zoom meeting with a virtual background.
It's
Yeah, it's
really
awesome.
amazing how the whole setup is actually presented as well. And they put the username and password for public use.
Of the
Ah,
store's logo. This is at San San Chicken in the East Village, right by New York University's main campus. And the best part about this setup is that the Zoom meeting ID and password are handwritten on a piece of paper taped to the back of the cash register and facing customers. What does a virtual
high
cashier
tech.
even do?
Hmm.
Well, not much. She greets people, who, by the way, are also on a webcam, when they walk into the store and can take orders if it gets busy. But there's also a self-serve ordering kiosk where you can pick and then pay for your food, which
Right.
gets handed to you from the kitchen behind this wall through this 2-foot wide window.
So that's the part that basically got to me and got me annoyed. So it's not even really taking orders. It's literally for presentation. Like, hi, how are you? Welcome to Sang Sang Chicken.
Ah,
And then the order actually comes out to that little window, right? Because there's actually people that are still obviously cooking the food.
but she takes the payment though, right?
Not necessarily. What if? I
Oh,
mean, if she takes the payment, if um, she actually takes an order. You see,
but quite
it's
literally
credit
just
card.
to say hello and greet people.
Yeah, basically that's it. It's like, oh hi, what can I do for you? And then probably will take orders as well. But how hard can taking an order be? You know what I mean? And then she's probably getting paid $3.75 an hour.
Cash.
Well, obviously
Yeah,
not. How you gonna pay? But it's definitely
yeah.
a
That's what I
cheaper
was.
route to take.
That's what I was about to get at. I bet you she's getting paid like $1, $2, maybe three the most.
Right. So I was like leading myself to ask the question like, is this going to be the future? Is it going to be something that's gonna work out?
We hope so
Um,
for her, because if it
what's that?
doesn't, I hope so for her,
Right.
For the Zoom lady, because that's the
hmm
job for her, right? But is it
I don't
going
think
to?
it's gonna last now
Why
because
not?
well, knowing people, just how human nature is and human interaction is, there's always something to complain about. Eventually people are gonna say, well, what if something comes up? How who's gonna take care of it?
what
And
if
somebody
something
from the back's
comes
gonna
up?
take care of it. Yeah, if there's an issue.
Right. Yeah, there's gonna be a door from the floor that's gonna pop open, and somebody's gonna come out.
To what
Um,
extent can this virtual register actually work? Unless it's just one of those places where, I mean, I can see it working for like a, I don't know, like a vending machine.
yeah, it's gonna work until there's a problem. You're right, but at least she's not gonna be part of any gun violence or anything like that. If something happens, she's like, I'm
Right.
out.
Peace. Exit. That's it. That's as
Yeah,
easy as it gets.
yeah. Control Alt delete or
Right.
quit or whatever. But yeah, no. Because I was wondering if you would say that it's not going to work out like for the future because like people are not going to go there because like I don't want to talk to a lady from Zoom,
Right.
or I think people are going to go there now because they want to see what it's like.
As like a lot of businesses, since it's like a ongoing
Novelty.
fad right now, I think they're gonna check it out, but I don't think it's actually going to last though, you know. Um
But why not? It's so cheap. It's
it
a
is
win-win
cheap, but
for
again,
everybody.
it's not gonna work for a business. It just feels so impersonal. As much as people think that it's great. It's
No,
the
but
future.
it's not like when you walk up to a real cashier, a human. It's not like it's going to be personal. Like, yeah, what can I do for you today?
Right. Like I can see it work for like for example, like a security guard, a gate personnel per se, you know, because all they gotta do is open the gate, close the gate. There's
Uh,
no actual service being provided.
oh no! Once they dish out the the I don't want to say dummies. What do you call those? The mannequins. Like,
Mannequins.
hey, good morning. How are you today? See, that's gonna work out.
I don't know. I mean,
The
I'm a
ones that
little
didn't work out here, though, the ones I think Jollibee tried it, where they had the robots
the
walking
robot, the
around.
rolling robot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that one's a bit flaky, though, right?
Right. Right. It's it's I don't know. I mean, and then how's that gonna work out with tipping too? You gonna tip a robot? You know, you're gonna call that customer service? No, that doesn't justify a tip, right?
That's the best part. You don't have to tip. That's why
Right.
people are gonna go there because they're not obliged. They don't feel guilty or obliged to tip the person.
Right. Right. I don't know. I'm
It
just
just
not.
might change the whole tipping culture.
I know it's going to affect the entire customer industry, obviously, if you have your virtual assistant like this or virtual register. But for me, it just doesn't work out. I don't think it's gonna last, or not everybody is going to sign up for it and like do it the same way. I don't think so, especially in the restaurant industry. Wow, how much are you really saving? Really, 15 hours? I mean, $10 an hour. Is that
Right.
worth it? Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
don't
see
know.
what you mean. I see what you mean, but I wouldn't be surprised if it does work, though. That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
there's
And
actually a
again,
restaurant in LA that's completely uh robotic now.
LA.
In LA, yeah, yeah. I can't remember. It's like a full on, full blown, full service restaurant or fast food that's operated by um, machines. You know?
But nobody's on Zoom though.
No, 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 no. This is like complete, full on service mechanical machinery restaurant or whatever. Actually, here I can click that in if you want, real quick, for you to take a look. I don't know if you've seen it. Um, it's like a robot restaurant. It's quite, it's a little impressive, but at the same
Have
time, I'm like,
arrived, at least
really?
in Pasadena, California. That's where the world's first ever fully autonomous AI-powered restaurant has opened, complete with burger flipping bots. We sent CBS's Joy Benedict
Yeah.
on a taste test.
This is in California.
Flippy the chef makes Spud spectacular.
And,
This
and
automated
you can
grill
watch
gives the
everything
meat its
while it's
sizzle.
being done because it's like a giant
As
glass.
this restaurant goes robotic.
For this burger, it would take about 120 seconds.
Cali Express by Flippy is the world's first AI-powered eatery. There's new technology outside the kitchen too.
A cheeseburger.
Order kiosks use facial
Hey, at least nobody's going to be spitting out your food.
to pay.
Sure.
Then watch the robots work No humans required.
We can't
Wow.
get enough people to come out to work on fryers and grills, and they're dangerous jobs. And this automation helps solve a lot of those issues.
62% of restaurants report being understaffed. Industry
Wouldn't you
experts
think that it'd be
say
more
most of
expensive to
those
run a fully
unfilled
automated
jobs
restaurant,
could be
though?
done by robots.
At
And in
first.
California, where the minimum wage for most fast food workers,
And then it's going to pay for itself.
fewer workers.
Did you just hear that? California right now, as of April 1st, minimum wage $20 an hour. Jesus.
Equals cost savings. Dan Ives is with Wedbush Securities, a wealth management firm.
Once the minimum wage went to 20, that's the bell going off. More and more focus on spending on AI. Because look, that's inflationary. That's the problem. You can't necessarily pass all that to the consumer.
Flippy can cook 250 pounds of French fries an hour. The burger bot,
Wow.
100 patties.
These restaurants are very, very busy at peak times, and every second that gets added
I don't
to
know.
somebody waiting in the drive-through is
That's like a dangerous direction to. The next thing you know, no more humans for work. I mean,
Yeah,
the guy was saying that they can't get anybody to work for $20 an hour. Really, you can't get anybody to work? Yeah, I find that hard to believe.
Is everybody else working from home? What's going on?
I don't know. I mean, there's no way. I mean, not everybody can work. That has the ability to work from home. You know.
So nobody's going there because, or nobody's applying for work because
No.
maybe that's an exaggeration.
I think I think it's also because it's California. I mean, people in California have gotten off the deep end already. It's insane.
But maybe that $20 is not related to that Flippy because they decided to go AI fully automated before, the $20 thing happened.
I
anyway.
think that's what it is most likely because
I mean, I don't think they put out. I don't think they put out an ad to say, "Hey, work for us, $20, or else we're gonna go AI." I don't think they did that.
Right. But I mean, $20 an hour just happened as of April 1st. But now, though, still for $20 an hour, you can't get people to work. But then again, in California, like I said, the state is in complete shambles because even if you make $20 an hour, jeez, you can barely get that. I mean, get anything for that. I mean, with rent being between $3,000 to $5,000, what's $20 an hour going to do for you?
I was rubbing elbows with my uncle that's there, California. He's in Sacramento.
Ah,
I was like, you think you can help me like TNT? Run over there and do try to move back there and that kind of thing. And he's like,
Right.
Are you sure? Are you sure? It's like it's so expensive here.
Is
You're gonna
that-
hate it.
is that
kind
what
of
he's
thing.
saying?
And it was a bit insulting for me in a sense that, like, are you saying that I'm not willing to work
Right.
at Burger King or McDonald's or what? Like, I'm happy to do that. I can even scrub toilets, that kind of thing. But he's like, it's better there. Don't
Right.
come here. He's like,
Well, I mean,
it's-
if you think about it, though, I mean, it's going to be really tough if you, for example, are able to get there and whatnot. It's going to be extremely tough.
yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. So the price difference right now, like for example, if you're making $20 an hour, that's only enough for you to buy like McDonald's. You know what I mean? That's crazy. I mean, the price difference of what it is in California, you can get a Happy Meal here. I mean, a number one here, the Big Mac meal for $9. Over there, it's almost $14. Can you imagine?
When you say over here, Virginia,
Virginia,
over there, California, yeah.
California,
Price
it's like almost $14. I mean,
almost twice.
yeah. I mean, how is $20 an hour really going to help you? Plus, with rent being the way it is, whatever. That's a whole different debacle. It's insane. It's gotten insane.
It's hard to say anything anymore about it. It's just, it is what it is. It's like complaining about the weather. Like, it's
there's
raining
nothing else
again.
that we can do. Yeah, nothing you can do. Now,
Yeah, speaking of the weather, you might want to talk about Dubai, but
yeah,
I might forget. Can we segue to OJ real quick? Because you mentioned
Yes.
April 1st.
Yeah.
You,
Yeah.
you mentioned April 1st, and I couldn't help but think April 10. So that's when he passed,
Yeah.
because of pancreatic cancer and that kind of thing. And I was even
Hmm.
going to joke. I was I was thinking of OJ a while ago because I was thinking, and every time we get into debates and stuff, and you're like, "What's your opinion about it?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I haven't even decided if OJ done it or not. If he's
Hmm.
really guilty or not." It was kind of a joke, and then so I
Right.
kind of Googled like what happened to OJ,
Hmm.
and then to my surprise, he's passed already. So
Yeah. Um, that guy has gone through the ringer and back. I mean, literally a fallen hero. You know, it's
fallen hero.
well,
What makes you
he
say
was
that?
praised and everything. Being the football star that he was. I mean, he
Mm.
made an amazing transition from National Football League, being an all-star, record-holding football player, to being an actor. You
Yeah,
know,
if you're looking at all of that, but if you also look at his criminal record,
and that's
he's
exactly what I'm saying. And then all of a sudden, to being accused and whatnot, I still can't tell. I know I joked around about it, about him taking the life of two people. Um, I don't know. It's hard to tell. Did he actually do it? And then him getting arrested for robbery.
yeah, and some of the comments is like, somebody that said something like, the situation with OJ is a sad situation,
Hmm.
not because uh I forget how I'm bastardizing it, but something to the effect of it was a reflection of a poor justice system, not because of the not because OJ was free.
A poor justice system.
No, no, no.
Okay.
It was like something flawed about because of the way that they did it, the way the
Right.
prosecutors did it, that they screwed up the case or whatever. So now he got away. Something to that effect. Like it leaves you uh I should have screenshotted it, but something to the effect that it like history wise, it leaves a bitter taste because of how the justice system failed.
Right.
Something to that effect.
Right.
Is
Right.
that the kind of sentiment that you're getting also from?
Um. To his defense, or to his defense team, they were really good. I mean, for them
Yeah,
to be able
yeah,
to come off with that,
yeah.
one of the biggest, the biggest, what do you call that when you enter evidence, was the glove.
Mm, mm, mm,
You
mm,
know,
mm.
if it didn't fit, it didn't fit.
Yeah, that was a
So
tagline. If it don't fit, you must acquit.
right. So I mean, there's questions that comes up. I mean, the glove looked like it would fit if you really put it all the way through. Obviously, it's smaller, but still, at that time, if a glove was used, there would be some kind of DNA in it, right?
And then so I was looking at um sort of documentaries and what really happened or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. And what's so frustrating is that one of the suspects is also his son,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? And then I
Mm-hmm.
was just catching up to it a while ago, and then he wrote a book after, like, if I did it, this is what would have happened, kind
Right.
of
Right.
thing. It's like
You
crazy.
need to watch the O.J. Simpson documentary, or I guess made to TV film that's actually in Netflix.
Yeah, no, I was looking at the 20-minute short and YouTube
Yeah,
version. But
it's
yeah, I
it's
know what you're
amazing,
talking
to be
about.
honest with you. It's amazing, but again, I don't know. That whole case. I mean, what was crazy was I remember being in school and people rolling out TVs to watch it. In school.
It's
So
crazy.
like,
I
okay,
remember I was spending the summer in LA with I had another uncle there,
right,
Tito Freddy. It's kind of like my dad back in the days. Like my mom would joke that he's the only guy that threw you up in the air, like that
right,
kind of thing. So anyway, I was hanging out at my Tito Freddy's house in LA, and then when we moved back to San Francisco, when we flew back to San Francisco, that's when my mom told me that, oh yeah, by the way, we're moving back to the Philippines.
right,
And so when I left to the Philippines, I never actually knew what happened to OJ, and then now I find out that he's passed. Well, I knew that he became acquitted or he was set free, that kind of thing. But I didn't.
Right.
I wasn't so close to the news as I was before, when I was like would really sit down in front of the TV back when I was in LA. And then now to find out that he's that he's passed, it's like kind of a last page, case closed kind of thing.
Right. Finally, five of the victims' family probably feel like finally justice for me, type of thing.
Or something like that. And then
Right.
plus I guess the audacity to make that book. And then so is it what's the name of the family? Is it one of the victims' families?
The Nicole Brown.
Yeah, or Goldman, maybe the guys.
Yeah,
one
yeah,
of
yeah.
them, one of the families also earned like something from the book proceeds or something like that. It was like,
Right.
it's just so strange to write that book after you were set free. And like
Yeah.
it's like almost like the title, right? It's almost mocking what happened. It's like, oh well, if I really did it, this is what I would have done. I was like, F you. Are you serious?
It's a slap on the face, definitely. Definitely
Yeah.
a slap on the face. I mean,
It's
you're gonna
insulting, but-
title your book "I Did It." Really.
What I wanted to ask you about was he was still guilty for something for like 33 years after he was set free from that trial, though, right?
No. He went in for a number of years for robbery, I believe.
No, but for something else, like he passed. Like, wasn't he in jail now?
I really don't know, to be honest with you. I mean, I gave
That's-
up on that years
Following.
ago.
Yeah. No, but what I was
Yeah.
getting at was what I understood was he was set free from this trial.
hmm
He was set free.
He
meaning
was acquitted.
He was acquitted, right? And then a couple of years or a few years later, he was tried again for something or whatever, and then he was put to jail for some other reason. I don't remember for what reason, but I wasn't really following closely. But
Right.
as far as I understand, it's like he was just in and out, and but celebrity style kind of in and out,
Yeah.
He would be set free
Yeah.
and then put to jail, and set free and put to jail again, but that kind of thing. But
Right.
like I said, I wasn't also following it, but it's just so weird to just be thinking about and joking about it a while ago. Like, oh, I'll use that as a joke. Like, I don't even know if OJ did it or
Right.
not. I can't even decide. And then now to find out that he's passed. So
He actually went to jail or to prison for armed robbery and kidnapping. So he was sentenced for 33 years with a
After.
minimum of 9 years of parole,
Yeah.
or 9 years without parole, which is still ridiculous because he got out anyway. So,
oh, he got
Yeah.
out.
yeah. I know he got out. Yeah.
Jeez. I
So
know.
it's crazy. I mean, he was definitely at some point of in his life or early life just adored by everybody. He was called the Juice. Yeah, and
Yeah.
now he's gone. Sad to say, but at the same time, it's like, okay, let's move on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just he literally became a statistic. So,
Yeah.
earlier you mentioned about like changing the weather and all that stuff. Did you hear about what happened in Dubai?
Yeah, it's all over the news here also.
Yeah, can you imagine literally trying to change the course of nature by cloud seeding?
Yeah.
What they
Well,
didn't, I think they overcalculated things and did things differently, or they went, in Dubai, it's go big or go home. Literally
Yeah, I
is
was-
what happened in their cloud seeding.
Yeah, I was about to say it's like the Texas of Asia.
Right. And then it's just ridiculous how they didn't properly, I guess, calculate what they were doing, that it caused an absolute disaster for literally the entire country. There's like a clip here, this guy trying to explain it as well. So if you don't mind, let's take a look at
see.
this.
Oh yeah, I saw this
Dubai is
one.
currently experiencing some of the worst flooding it's had in years after the government's been experimenting with cloud seeding to create artificial rain, which, as you can tell, has gotten out of hand. And while some people in Dubai have been enjoying the rain, for
Yeah.
most people, the flood and storm have gotten so intense that it's starting to break through the roof of most buildings, leaving massive amounts of people stranded in the roadway. And for those that are trying to get away, a lot of them are flooding their engines, leaving their cars stuck and broken in the middle of the road. Unless you've got a Tesla, then apparently that thing is a submarine. And it's gotten so bad that in the last 12 hours, Dubai's gotten more rain than they typically get in an entire year. Government officials in Dubai have told people to stay home and stay safe, but as you can tell, Dubai's infrastructure was just not built for this amount of rain. And
Right.
sadly, it seems like the worst is yet to come with a second storm coming and adding to the current one. This is today at 3 p.m. It
Jeez.
should be bright outside, but as you can tell, the cloud cover is so thick that it seems like it's night. Now, how much of this is cloud seeding versus natural Mother Nature just taking its course? We don't know exactly, but I think it goes to show that you just do not want to mess with Mother Nature.
I mean, like you said, it just goes to show that you don't really want to mess with nature. I mean, cloud seeding is not exactly creating rain, but it helps build it. You know what I mean? And they just completely overcalculated things. And there's like videos on TikTok and YouTube of people jet skiing all over the place or what, and it's insane. You know, I mean, can you imagine if that happens to the Philippines?
No, I think it always happens in the Philippines. What's more
That's
amazing,
true,
though,
actually. It's a horrible comparison. Yeah,
what's funnier is how the roofs are, the structures are breaking down because they're not used to it, or they're not,
correct.
they weren't expecting it.
They're
Here,
not
you kind
equipped.
of you kind of expect, you get the buckets out already, or
Well, in the
but
roads, they didn't even have proper drainage infrastructure in in the actual public roads, where it's flooding everything.
oh,
I mean, it's the middle of the
yeah,
desert, really. Even everywhere else, water goes out to the side into the drainage. There's nowhere to go, pretty much, but up. You know,
yeah, and something about the way the roofs are built. I think like they just flat, so all the
correct.
water gathers and it falls in. But I don't
All
know.
the weight.
But did they give a number on how much rainfall actually fell?
Not yet. Not yet. I mean, but based on the way the country looks, I mean, the
Yeah,
airport was shut down. You know what I mean? Because the runway was just absolutely doused in water.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
So it's like, why would you even do something like that? Well, I guess I can understand. But then again, it's Dubai. It's like I said, over there, literally the meaning of go big or go home.
Yeah.
Yeah. It, it's It's but it's kind of funny out of all that video watching a Tesla just go through the entire water system. The flood
You know,
just go.
the deepest the deepest pool is also in Dubai right now, right?
I
Are you
think so.
familiar
Yeah.
with that?
Yeah.
The 60-meter pool, 6, 12, 18.
I can't even.
It's
I
like
could barely deal with swimming in a 10 foot deep water.
200 feet below uh
Right.
uh the ground.
The
I know
ground.
one of
Yeah.
the I know one of the guys. I'm familiar with one of the guys that helped build it,
Mm,
and he was telling us, and I've seen the videos already also, but
right.
back when he was telling us that they were building like they were talking about what to put underneath, because they don't want to don't want to just put tiles all the way to 200 feet, right?
Right.
So it's like they have different like themes on every few meters.
Hmm. Hmm.
Like over here it's like a let's say a house and a library, that kind of thing, and then underneath that would be, let's say, a garage and an elevator, for example, like different structures that they put on
Hmm.
different levels, so that you as you go deeper, you can discover things
Different things.
around
Yeah.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's not just one boring shaft going down.
Right. Right.
But yeah, Dubai, that go big or go home.
It's crazy, and now I think it's not like it's going to stop them from doing it. You
Mm,
know, from what I'm reading, that they're literally trying to come up with plans to proper drainage and all that stuff throughout the country or whatever, and then they're gonna keep doing it.
you're probably like, ooh.
Yeah. This gives us an opportunity to build more stuff since we have money like no other.
Are you getting ideas? Are you
Right.
thinking what I'm thinking? Kind of thing.
Right. Right. So
They
I don't
always
know.
complain that Dubai is too hot. I have an idea, my friend.
It's amazing what technology has been able to do, and now they're messing with nature. Would I want to mess with nature though? Man, I don't know. I mean, I've seen too many freaking movies of like world disasters messing with nature and all that stuff. I don't know. It's you just don't know the power of nature. So I don't want to. If I was them, I wouldn't mess with that. You know.
Would you call that nature's course? Nature's course.
Yeah, I mean, how why would they do that though? I don't understand. I know the country needs water, but to that extent, really,
You're making it
that
sound
they
like a bad
messed up.
thing.
They did because of what they're trying to accomplish. They even they ruined the entire country more.
Yeah, when they were following the ingredients. 2 cups of sugar. They said two. Who needs
That's
two?
a
Who
little
needs
bit
three?
more.
Add a little more.
Right,
Hey,
right.
let's go around the neighborhood real quick and go
Yeah.
to I think this is China.
Oh, go ahead.
Have you heard about this news?
No.
I don't think I have a bit of picture for you, but
Mm.
hold on a second. Let me scratch my throat again. Yeah,
Oh,
sorry
it's the
about
big
that.
one. It's the big one.
Got to keep myself healthy for the podcast. Here's a quick one for you. I wasn't really. Just hold on a second.
Yeah.
So there's this bit of news now about. Well, if you're familiar with a little bit of running, I'm pretty sure you know that Ethiopians, Kenyans, and that kind of thing
Yeah. Yeah.
are pretty. They're well known in the runners world that they're walking on air kind of thing. They're really fast runners.
Correct.
So everybody would expect that they would win, and hold on, rightfully so. But yeah, in the news lately, that there was these Kenyans, Ethiopians that were running across the finish line. But you could only, even before I play this video. Oh, I think I already am playing it. Even before the video plays, you can already see in that guy's face that he's already struggling. This is like the last 300 meters to cross the finish line. Maybe here the last 5-10 meters, but you can see that he's really struggling. And it's funny because if you look at the guys at the back, the
They're
African
like just
runners at the
whatever.
back, they're just like sort of jogging, right? But
Right.
here, let's look a little bit of it if you haven't seen.
Half marathon. Some 20,000 runners took part. They had to cover 21 kilometers. Up ahead, 4 runners were stuck together, one from China, 2 from Kenya, and 1 from Ethiopia. The African runners were slightly ahead, but in the final stretch, something strange happened. The African runners asked the Chinese runner to overtake them. You can see them wave him through. Take a look.
Why would
The
they
guys-
do that? They're obviously not struggling. See that?
Even with that hand gesture, right? But it's just so funny to see him like struggling, and the guys at the back, they're like pacers. They're just like, you can do it. Come on, go ahead.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Is it rigged or are they just giving the guy a chance?
right. No. So that's what the whole thing is about now. The question, the commenters are saying is like the question is that was it rigged or not? The question is how much were they paid? If you're gonna
This
get
was
paid,
in China.
yeah.
Okay, that's just. All right. How much did they get paid?
See,
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. And then, when they were asked why did you guys do it? Why did you? And they said, oh, he's my friend. I just let him win because he's my friend. So that's it. So there is a bit of uproar against it. And no, there. Here, let me play the rest of the video a little bit.
As far
Yeah.
as excuses go, not a good one. The cameras clearly picked up what happened here, and once it went on social media, there was outrage. People called it embarrassing and unfair, so the organizers had to do something. They've launched an investigation into what happened. But don't expect anything significant because this is routine in China. Marathons are quite the craze.
Damn, this lady is legit. I like this lady.
170 Chinese cities hosted marathons. 170 Chinese.
What do you mean?
like this reporter. I mean, she's like to the point, and like people call your BS out in it. It's like when she was saying, "Well, there's gonna be an investigation, but I don't expect much of it."
Yeah, she's pretty sharp. She was.
Yeah.
I found out about her. I started listening to her when COVID started. About the
Mm.
vaccines and everything.
Right.
So
Right.
she
Right.
was. So she was
Yeah.
one of
That's
my.
kind of embarrassing. That's too obvious that there's some kind of transaction that went through.
Yeah.
I mean, those three African runners were just jogging like there's no. It's just a regular day. It's not too bad for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's funny that they couldn't hide it, but I think it's even funnier that the guy that did win.
Mm.
Looked like he was struggling so much, to cross that finish line,
Right. Right.
and his African friends at the back were just like, yeah, come on, you can do it.
Maybe it was a good gesture, but it's just embarrassing for a country, especially that's
Yeah.
hosting the something like that. It looks too obvious that those Africans would have beaten him to begin with, and
Oh,
look, they're
yeah,
watching him.
yeah. I'm
Yeah,
not gonna bother to play the rest of the video, but
yeah, yeah, yeah.
she's actually listing out all the other times that they let China win. That there were other
Ugh.
controversies that Chinese nationals were actually, led to win for some reason or another. This is
Right.
probably the biggest one on social media now, but this is her just listing out some of the other instances that something like this happened. So if you want to
Yeah.
look at the rest of the video, just watch it um, online. I don't know if there was something else that I wanted to add about
Yeah.
that.
Send me the link on that when you can.
Oh,
That's
didn't
just
I? Oh,
really questionable.
yeah. I was trying to remember what else I wanted to add about that, but I guess for now that's about it. But
Right.
yeah, pretty sharp. That's it. I'm gonna take a break with my throat. Your turn.
Can I show you real quick? This is what's going on in TikTok nowadays. Why I wanted to oops, what was that? Why I wanted to really um talk a little bit about what's going on in TikTok and how it's affecting everything else now. Look at these dumbasses, all right? I'm
Yeah.
it's insane.
Does it walking around live streaming himself, messing with people, takes this woman's food right out of her plate?
Put your hand in my food again, and I'm throwing all of your phone.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey, you're not touching our phone.
Don't put your hand in my food again.
I want her to slap the
Do
shit
that.
out of
You
this
don't do
kid.
that to people.
Right.
That's right.
And these freaking kids are I'm sorry. And then these kids are like
Talk kids are
thinking that they actually trying to defend themselves like they didn't do anything wrong. Are they stupid?
That's what's
Getting
scary.
out.
They don't
Look at
think
this.
that.
This 14-year-old little does it walking around live streaming himself, messing with people, takes this woman's food right out of her plate?
Put your hand in my food again, and I'm throwing all of your phone.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey, you're not touching our phone.
Don't put your hand in my food again.
I want her to slap the
Do
shit
that.
out
You
of this
don't do
kid.
that to people.
That's right.
And stop filming me.
It's a live stream. You can't stop it.
We can't stop it live stream. Jesus.
Yeah, it's a live stream. You can't
Yeah.
stop me.
They're literally justifying what they're doing and actually saying that they can't do anything about it. Really?
I think that's the key word right there. It's a live stream. You can't stop me.
Right, right. And then they're you know what? It'd be nice if they can try to do that to me and see what happens. Smack the shit out of that fucking kid, man. Kid you not. I'll take a
Where
plate
the-
of fries and shove it on his face.
Where are the parents? Where are the parents?
Exactly. You know, good use of your time there. I mean, walking around live streaming and just messing with people for no, and that's what's pissed me off about TikTok here in the States. Okay, just like the TikToker or whatever that got shot at Dallas Mall, the one near my. There's so many people like that, just trying to do and rile up people getting into their business just to get some views and get viral. Okay, that's the key word there, to get viral. All right, that guy is very lucky that he's actually alive, because that guy could have really taken his life. You know,
Yeah,
and
it
then
would have been
after
nice if
getting
he
shot,
slapped him.
yeah, after getting shot, he still says, "Oh, I'm still gonna do it." You know, I don't think I did anything wrong. You know, so TikTok is just really taking over a lot of these people's, or especially like these kids over here. And it's not like they're doing the right thing or making good decisions. They're just, I'm not saying everybody, okay? A lot of them are just really stupid. I'm sorry. Like those kids right there walking by, what's the point of that? You're messing with people's food like that, and then you're trying to justify your actions by like, oh, it's live. I'm streaming live.
So generally, if your kids have friends that are live streamers or
Mm.
TikTokers, are they like, wow, you're a TikToker kind of thing? Or
Well, not really. I mean, let me put it this way. If my kids end up doing something that stupid like that and they get busted, we've made it clear. If you get brought in for that, you're on your own. We're going to leave you there.
yeah,
We're going to make you take suffer for
but
it.
do your kids have barcada or friends that try to do TikTok and that kind of thing? Or do your kids even try to do they have TikTok accounts that they try
They
to
do
post?
have TikTok accounts, but they're not really want to put themselves in front of the camera. You know what I mean? If they do, they're doing dance moves or whatever. Nothing crazy where it's actually going to affect somebody else's life in a negative way. You know?
Yeah, no, because I'm just thinking that if one kid is big, like say in school, there's going to be
Right.
another kid that's going to try to follow, and then another kid. It's like it's really just a little circle of friends that you and you know what I mean, like a group of friends maybe in school, but
Right.
maybe it's not a big. You know what I mean? They tend to cluster together. These
Right. Right.
TikTokers, I think.
They do.
But-
They
And,
do, actually.
and if and I don't think it's a bad thing, but what I mean is you're going to get more confidence to do it because you're surrounded with those people. Like now maybe I have a little more confidence to go vlogging because I met Dagan and I met
Right.
who else did I meet? You know what I mean? Like that I met like real life vloggers. But when I hadn't met them yet, I was one of those people that was like, oh, it's too far away for
Yeah.
me to
Yeah.
dream to be like a vlogger, kind of thing. I mean, I'm exaggerating, but you know what I mean. That the whole
Right.
idea of like, that kid probably had that kind of confidence because he's got a couple of other friends that are also TikTokers that are trying to like one
Exactly.
up each other.
I mean,
But if you don't,
it's there's definitely kids here that are just considered like TikTok stars and have gotten to be so popular that
Mm,
whatever they do is in a way kind of being justified. They're not exactly doing anything good to begin with. They're just causing issues.
yeah, that's what I was getting at. It's like an echo chamber
Right.
because one kid is doing it. But what were you saying? They're stars, but what?
There's TikTokers here who have gotten to bring their names up to popularity through TikTok and YouTube, right?
Right.
But it's not like they're doing anything that's even entertaining. It's
Mm.
they're goofing around. They're effing around too much. They're bothering people at the malls, or they're causing ruckus in some kind of place, and people are validating it, and that's what sucks about it. I think
Yeah.
people are just giving it too much of a pass now because of how TikTok is and what people see nowadays, especially kids like these act the way they do and think that they're justified for it.
One of these days, that kid's going to New York or LA, and he's going to walk into that AI store that's fully automated. He's going to mess around with those burgers, or he's going to mess around with that Filipina lady on Zoom.
Right.
You know,
It's
crazy.
it's insane, and it pisses me off because it's so unnecessary and it's unvalidated. One of these days, they're gonna catch a guy and mess with somebody just like the guy at Dulles Mall in Virginia with a gun, and they're just gonna pop one in them. And who are they
Yeah.
gonna blame? There's nobody
Yeah.
else to blame, and they're gonna try to justify their action too. Come on,
Somebody's gonna get shot again.
somebody's gonna get the hurting.
Somebody's gonna get hurt real bad.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Consequences.
yeah.
Consequences.
the consequences that these kids, well, nobody's holding them accountable for it. That lady tried to, um, but obviously without any success. And I don't know. One of
Well,
these days, they're gonna catch somebody bad.
you'll have to forgive me with the froggy frog voice, the Kermit the
No, you're
Frog
fine.
voice here. But I hope you don't mind. Before we run out of time, let's talk about this 4-hour archaeology debate that I just watched last Friday night.
What is this about? Let's take a look at this.
I don't want to get too much into the details, into the weeds of who's who or whatever, but the fact that, and I'll tell you where I got it from and everything. And let me set up the 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 screen here.
Mhm.
But have you ever heard of a 4-hour debate?
Archaeology debate.
Yeah, the people
No.
actually, I think people actually really sat down and listened to it.
Mm.
And, like the big takeaways on this one is like, uh, well, one of the highlights for me was like, have you heard of big pharma? Yeah. Well, have you heard of big archaeology? So it was basically a battle between mainstream archaeology and like, out of the box kind of mainstream out
This
of
is
the
a
box. So
Joe Rogan's.
yeah, so this was on the Joe Rogan podcast. That's Graham Hancock, the one
Mm.
that's on the white shirt.
Mm.
And then there's this guy that looks like Indiana Jones,
Mhm.
Flint Dibble, that's on the bottom there. So they're discussing. They're going back and forth about um, basically, yeah. So basically, yeah. So it's like mainstream archaeology, and then there's like maybe pseudoscience or out of the box kind of archaeology. But I don't want to get into the details of that. But just for me, I just wanted to highlight the fact that it was a debate that was practically, it was like they weren't keeping time and they weren't really, you know what I mean? They were just,
Mhm.
it
Mhm.
was funny though, because it was practically like the battle of the PowerPoints. They
Right.
both had their own PowerPoints, and they had like, they were switching HDMI cords every time. They always had like technical difficulties because they had to switch, laptops and that kind of thing. But
4.5 hour recording. Jesus.
yes, yeah. Just they went into the weeds,
Right.
from personal issues to like details about, yeah, but did you find out about this, and did you find out about that? Did you look into that? But basically the whole argument, if I can give you just a little bit of detail, is that archaeology has basically uh Sahara Desert, for example,
Right.
archaeology or mainstream archaeology has only found like searched around like 1% of the Sahara Desert.
Wow.
So the argument, same thing for space. It's like, the amount of space that we've researched is only like one glass of water compared to like the ocean.
Right. Right.
So the whole idea is you can't, like, what Graham Hancock is saying, whether you agree with him or not. The way I understand it is that you can't really dismiss whether this theory or that theory is possible or not,
Mhm.
because we've only researched like 1%.
Right.
And to say that, oh, it doesn't exist, we don't have any evidence for that.
There's not enough to draw a conclusion.
Yeah, but what they both do agree on, both sides,
Right.
is that either way, whether it's mainstream or pseudoscience kind of archaeology, is that it's not funded enough. Where
Mhm.
people are not throwing enough money into archaeology. And matter of fact, they just defunded, I think, the archaeology department or something like that of the U.S. government,
Oof.
so it's less, and not defunded, but they cut the budget or
They
something
cut the
like that.
budget down, probably.
So
Yeah.
that's what they both, at least both, that's the only thing I think that they agree on. That that there needs to be more funding as far as archaeology is concerned. But that's just thing. For me, I just found it such an amazing, historical event that they were actually able to pull this off or put this together.
Mhm.
Because of schedules and the fact that, who's willing to do it, who's like a mainstream archaeologist that's willing to sit down with Graham Hancock to discuss this kind of thing. And Graham's also got this Netflix special, and there was this whole debate about, whether they should have taken it down or not, because
Right.
mainstream archaeology wanted to take it down, or not cancel it or take it down, but to recategorize it as science fiction. and not as a documentary. So
Are-
for Graham Hancock, that's like tantamount of canceling him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's an insult. But anyway, that's just my thing. If it's the kind of thing that you're interested in,
I'm definitely gonna look into that, because I want to see what the hell is a discussion that could last 4.5 hours.
they had PowerPoints
What could
over
they could have
PowerPoints.
discussed? Yeah.
Everything from
Right.
from the Sahara Desert to, they didn't even talk about aliens because that's not part of archaeology. But you know what I
Right.
mean? It was like
Right.
that's just basically it. That you can't. That's what Graham's argument was overall. I think was that you can't argue that it doesn't exist because we haven't really looked around enough.
Right.
And anyway, that's what kept me up whole Friday night.
I still pretty amazed on like how something like this, like discussions like that, sometimes are just overlooked, but at the same time, when people get into it, they last forever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
It's a rabbit hole.
Anyway, I think that's it for the day. We need to give your throat a rest, man. It looks like you're gonna croak and lose your voice completely.
I was kind of hoping it would get better, but
It sounds like
yeah,
it's getting worse.
it's getting itchier. Yeah.
Yeah. It sounds like it's getting worse. Anyway, hey guys, thank you for tuning in today. Next episode is going to be Wednesday. We're gonna do Wednesday so that he can actually get some rest, because I don't think it's gonna get any better tomorrow. But is there anything else that you'd like to add?
Nah, I think that's about it. We
That's
didn't
it?
get to talk about the Korean brands on the TV show and that kind of thing, but I'm sure you guys
Yeah.
can just Google that.
We can definitely just add that on to the next one. All right. Again, this is the flip side with Jay Noel. The next episode is going to coming up on Wednesday, like I said, 6:30. I mean 7 a.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Philippines.
Before I forget to mention on or off air this week, if my calculations are correct, Dagan Millennial Legends video, like with me in it, I think is going to be coming out this week. It would be nice to, if it does come out on our feed, it would be nice to watch a little bit of,
The short came out a while ago already.
premiere reaction. Yeah, but we've seen that already.
Yeah.
We've seen a little bit of that already, but it would be nice to do like a little watch party.
We can definitely do that one.
On the next episode.
All right, guys. Again, this is the flip side with Jay Noel. My name is Jay.
Name's Noel.
We'll catch you guys
Frog.
later.
On the flip side.
Bye-bye. Catch us on the next episode, Wednesday, 6:30 a.m. Eastern, 7:30 p.m. Philippines. This is the flip side with Jay and Noel.